The static of the deep. The emergency broadcast on the radio had been looping for 48 days, or maybe 49. After the grid collapsed, time became as murky as the black, choked water of the bay. Marcus sat in the skeleton of an old watchtower, his rifle resting across his knees. Below him, the coastal town of Blackwood lay completely silent, swallowed by a thick, oily fog that never lifted. The rules of the fog. Marcus survived because he followed 3 strict rules. Never step into the fog without a respirator. The spores didn't kill you. They just made you open the door. Ignore the voices of the lost. They sound like family, but their syntax is always slightly wrong. If the static on the radio stops, climb higher. He checked his respirator's filter. 3 hours left. Supply runs to the pharmacy downtown were getting riskier. The things that walked the fog, once his neighbors, now stretched, multi-jointed caricatures of humanity, were getting faster. They didn't have eyes anymore, but they could hear a boot snapping a dry twig from a mile away. The knock at 3:14 a.m. The radio static didn't stop. It changed. The harsh white noise smoothed out, replaced by the rhythmic, wet sound of heavy breathing. "Marcus!" The voice came from the small speaker of his battery-powered receiver. It sounded like Sarah, his sister, the sister he had watched slide into the dark waters of the harbor 3 weeks ago to escape the first wave. "Marcus, it's cold down here, but the water is quiet now. You don't have to keep watch anymore." Marcus gripped his rifle, his knuckles turning white. He knew it wasn't her. The mimicry was clever, but Sarah never called him Marcus. She had called him Mark since they were kids. Then came the sound. Thump, thump, thump. It wasn't on the radio. It was coming from the hatch at the base of his tower. The climb. Marcus stood up, his heart hammering against his ribs. He looked down the rusted spiral staircase. The fog was rising, pouring through the floorboards like dry ice. He peered over the railing. Emerging from the gray mist was a hand, but the fingers were too long, ending in jagged, torn nails, and the arm bent backward at an impossible angle. "Come down, Mark," the voice whispered from the darkness below, correcting its mistake. "We bought you a filter." Marcus didn't hesitate. He slung the rifle over his shoulder and scrambled up the emergency ladder leading to the tower's rotting wooden roof. He burst out into the cold night air, the wind whipping his face. He was at the highest point for miles. There was nowhere left to climb. Below him, the hatch creaked open.